Welcome to Mystery Diagnosis. Sorry I'm wearing the same shirts because my turducks are blocked. I haven't felt like changing.
But imagine a different scenario. You're a college student, a basketball player. Then one day, you are told you have a crippling, incurable disease. It happened to Terry Moore.
In 1998, I was a junior in college at James Madison University, playing a lot of basketball, played every day pretty much. And I come home for spring break, and I wake up, it was Monday or Tuesday morning, and my knee was completely swollen and hot to the touch, and I tried to go to bed that night.
On top of arthritis?
It hurt so bad, I couldn't leave it flat on a bed, so I slept on the couch. It was so much pain that I couldn't
I'm just
have the ceiling fan on.
Tired and run
I
down.
could sense the breeze when our pet walked by.
I'll be back to normal soon.
Fluid drained from Terry's knee indicated that he might have gout, inflammation of the joints caused by a buildup of uric acid in the body. But the rheumatologist he was referred to disputed the diagnosis, and with good reason, according to Terry's internist, Dr. Fred Tawil.
He did not have the kind of classic gout presentation that we see in internal medicine. Typical gout attack in internal medicine is a man in his 40s, usually overweight, who has a family history of gout, who comes in with an acutely swollen joint, usually a toe joint.
The rheumatologist told Terry it looked like he had a form of inflammatory arthritis, but arthritis can be difficult to diagnose.
Unfortunately, with a lot of the inflammatory arthritis, there isn't a lot of times one test or one thing you can say, oh, that's what it is. Frequently, it's a syndrome. It's a combination of symptoms.
Terry started taking anti-inflammatory medication.
Didn't really tell a whole lot of people. Was always embarrassed about why I was limping around. You know, I'm 22 and I have arthritis. That's not fun to say to your friends.
Yeah, it is.
When we first met, Terry was hobbling around a lot, and of course you ask what's wrong or what's going on.
Pretty much, I think I told her I just had a sports injury.
I thought, here's this outgoing, really nice, super nice guy who's athletic that just happened to hurt his knee and didn't really think that much of it.
But after being with her for a little while, she kind of figured there's something else going on.
Over the course of his senior year in college, the anti-inflammatories stopped working, and Terry's pain got worse.
There were times at school he'd call and he just couldn't walk. The pain was so bad in the knee or in the foot that he would use crutches to get around with.
It was really hard to watch him go through all the flare-ups and then the flare-up to go away and then come back maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks later. It was this constant roller coaster of what are we going to be able to do and what aren't we going to be able to do.
Graduated in 99, and same things are still happening.
Terry had been under treatment for 2 years, but the pain was still crippling. His rheumatologist tried a more aggressive approach, putting him on 2 new drugs, prednisone, a steroid, and methotrexate, a drug used in chemotherapy.
I've been on those. But it's where I got
Methotrexate is kind of made me sick to my stomach.
It
I can
pretty much, as soon as he took it, would be so horribly nauseous that he would just want to go to sleep.
And with the prednisone, kind of makes you gain weight, and I started feeling fatter, and my hair actually just started thinning out a little bit. Now I'm 23, 24, and starting to look chubby and losing my hair. So
I had that happen when I was 12.
It didn't feel great.
Even with the new, powerful drugs, Terry's flare-ups got more frequent, each one more painful than the last.
I stopped sports altogether at that point.
It was almost like he was a totally different person. On a daily basis, you didn't really think about it, but when you took a step back, you went, we're not doing anything that we used to do.
Terry's doctor told him that he probably had rheumatoid arthritis, a very severe and debilitating form of the disease. With rheumatoid arthritis, the body's natural immune system goes haywire and attacks healthy joint tissue. It can cause permanent damage to bone and cartilage. Joints can become deformed and lose all range of motion.
That just hit us like a bomb had dropped on us. We knew how debilitating rheumatoid arthritis could be.
And Kim and I had conversations about what's my future going to be. Is she going to be pushing me in a wheelchair
I stopped
when I'm
drawing
35
because
or
it was
40.
painful.
I never pictured a life not with Terry, and I never pictured us being apart, and I knew we would be together forever, but like I didn't know how the day-to-day would be.
She just stood by him and was always there for him. And I think in his mind that, do I really want to have her go through this not knowing what the outcome's going to be?
The crippling pain also started taking a toll on Terry's mental health. In April 2002, after suffering with the disease for 4 years, Terry was desperate. He went to Dr. Tawil for help.
February 3rd of that year, 2003, my elbow was inflamed. I wasn't feeling well. I took my temperature and I had it was like a 101, a 102. Started throwing up. Thought I had the flu. And it was just intensified by having a flare-up in my elbow.
Terry called his rheumatologist the next day. He suspected it was an infection and prescribed antibiotics. But by the following morning, Terry could barely move his arm.
Gout?
Showed that the material found in Terry's arm was full of uric acid crystals, a sure sign of gout, the same diagnosis that had been dismissed 5 years earlier. In healthy people, uric acid is excreted by the kidneys. But in Terry's case, his body was producing too much uric acid for his kidneys to handle. It was flooding his body and causing his joints to swell. Gout symptoms can be similar to arthritis, but the reality is that for 5 long years, Terry had been treated for the wrong disease. Terry went off the arthritis medication immediately and started taking drugs to cure his gout.
It was just amazing, the difference in his personality.
Within a month, I was feeling better, and by that May, I was playing basketball again.
I'm glad.
I still have problems occasionally, but nowhere near the severity and nowhere near the length when they do occur.
Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.